welcome back to the Rebel Chumps channel. Today we have another update video, news video regarding lightsaber news, what's going on with the channel and whatnot. So in front of us, starting, we have the updated banner for my YouTube channel. Now bear in mind, I'm still further enhancing it. There will be some slight alterations, but I really want to work towards having a very distinct style and feel towards the YouTube channel and branding Rebel Chumps as a YouTube content location where you find everything related to Star Wars. And it's not about a person. Rebel Chumps is, in my opinion, more like a confined location where Rebel Chumps, like chumps, stupid silly guys, and ladies of course, come together and gather and share knowledge, share news, and yeah, share the love of lightsabers, custom lightsabers, Star Wars related reviews, toys, and other Star Wars merchandise and whatnot. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And now currently I'm not working, so I actually have time to update and work on this kind of stuff, because I've been neglecting it quite a lot, and it's to a point where I have now over 170 videos on the channel, and the thumbnails, etc. is a big mess, and I'm slowly finding my spin in defining what is my style, like how do I want to have the YouTube channel going forward, like what is the style of the doing the lightsaber reviews, what is the style of the content and whatnot. So I'm starting to more and more define that, and also fine tune it against what you guys like to see, because that is most important, of course. So yeah, the banner is one of these things. It's gonna show when the videos are up. It will be more specific, not in the banner though, but I'm gonna be more specific what content is going to be released at what day, so you know, okay, Mondays are for this, Tuesdays or Wednesdays are for this, and the Saturdays are, of course, you already know that. As for the custom lightsaber store, I need to take a sip of my, what is this, Chinese energy drink. Okay, so first of all, I want to do a shout out to Crusher Mac. He is one of the channel's followers. He's one of the guys that he is quite involved with the channel, and I'm super happy to have met him. He's a very nice person. I speak with him on the private chat quite a bit, and he made a pledge on my Patreon, which of course I want to showcase. And I'm still updating the whole layout of my Patreon page, but he did a pledge, and I'm really happy for that, and I would like to thank him for, personally, from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you, and it really will help to move the channel going forward. By your contribution, I can actually bring more content relating to Star Wars, and especially custom lightsabers, because I know you're a very big fan of that as well, and I really appreciate that. And if there's anything you want me to promote, let's say you have a YouTube channel, or you have a product that you're selling, or anything in mind that you say, hey, could you highlight that, let me know. I will make sure that it will be covered in the next video. And that's one of the things I do with these pledges. So these pledges are not for me just to get money. The pledges are simply for me to keep going with the channel and grow, and that has to do with commercializing it by doing advertisements, or by buying products that I review for you guys on requests. And of course I want to keep doing that on a very high frequency, so I can keep deliver content. And I'm not asking a lot of you guys to pledge. It's a very small amount, but all these small amounts together will help me to keep going with a much higher frequency, and also bring better quality. So I really want to thank you again. Thank you, Crusher Mac. I really appreciate it. I will keep in touch with you later on, because I know we're talking back and forth about some stuff. then I go to my channel, because we're gonna just do some live responses to what have been replied on the YouTube video. So we're gonna see what you guys opinions are and whatnot. So we'll start with the Saberforge versus Vader's Vault yeah, versus video.
Hi everybody.
This is one of my first versus videos I'm doing, and I was very interested in going this route because I don't want to simply rehash video content because I just have nothing on my plate. It's just I really want to not showing a product on its own, but also give a chance to actually compare it. And it's not apples to apples, it's always apples to pears, because different brands, different configurations and whatnot. But it really shows more about what you personally can look into for your next Saber purchase. So like, what is it that you maybe want to look forward to and maybe not, because you per se don't want to spend a lot of money on buying like 50 or 100 different sabers before you find the saber that you're really looking for. And hopefully my videos help you to decide what route you want to go into, what kind of aspects or design or ergonomics of a lightsaber you are keen on. And we got some replies here. We got a reply from Sergio. He said do a brightness comparison. Now that's a little bit harder to do on video, to be honest, because the video cameras, this is a webcam, but normally I use an iPhone, and the brightness is not coming off that well. It's just you have to believe on what I say, what is brighter or what is less brighter. Plus there's so much deviations in the LEDs. Like even two of the two Cry-Cree LEDs might have a slightly different output because of the wires used, the resistors used, the LED quality of the LED, the way the LED is mounted to the LED star, and it is the battery life, the battery like how much power is in the battery. There's quite a bit of deviation there, very minimal of course on those areas, but between Quad-Cree and Tri-Cree there is some deviation with certain colors and certain shades, but there's also downside, let's say battery drainage, etc., because you can have a bright saber but then you have a battery that drains very fast, then you have your photon blades, and then you have your string lab blades and your Neopixels. So there's a lot of stuff. And to confirm to Crusher Mac, yes, I will do a heretic comparison for next weekend, I believe. Heretic and something else, so you will like that. And then let's see, we have some more replies. This is an interesting topic that I brought up because I saw it being brought up somewhere else, and it's regarding saber snobs, and it's becomes a really strong opinion and sided direction we're going into with this hobby. And there's a lot of feedback I received and a lot of positive and negative comments, and to each of its own, of course. So we got a whole bunch of comments here, so let's go through them. Now I already replied to Day One Gray. He said, what kind of saber you can buy from Vader's Vault for $300? Now actually there's two sabers from Vader's Vault that you can buy at a starting price of $300. And let me just show you really quick. I'll do that. Now there's only two that you actually can choose from. There were three. No, actually there was a time where the Vader's Vault Fury was only $280, but unfortunately the price went up when they made some changes to it. I'm so sorry, I just burped very disgustingly on the camera. But we got now three options. So for $300 you can either get the regular half-back without the leather wrap, the Revan, or the Fury. Now you need to understand that for $300 you get a lot. Like you get a lot. You get. I just click on this one. This is one of I think the best budget Vader's Vault sabers. Now, for the Fury you get for $300. So what you get is a Crystal Shard 3.0 with 6 sound banks, so you can have 6 different sound fonts installed and toggle between those sound fonts on the go. You get Flash on Clash. Now, Flash on Clash, I'll come back in a second. You get a 22mm speaker with super loud. You get a Delrin chassis. You get an 18650 battery. You get a lit up AV switch or non-lit AV switch. You can choose that. You get a very good hilt. You get an auxiliary button underneath for the auxiliary secondary sound effects, and you get a cover tech wheel. Actually, I should get back to that. And you get a lot of like the electronics, like from a soundboard perspective, you get a lot for $300. You get a charger with it, and you get a blade with it, and it's a very nice set. Now, there's some things that are like more like I would say more like an Ultrasabers. Like an Ultrasaber starts super low in terms of pricing, but it's bare minimum. Like bare minimum. There's like the hilt only the hilt. No cover tech installed, no sound vented pommel, no electronics, and blah blah blah. And then you start to build up, and then you get to the very quickly to a pricing that you can see here very easily for any Ultrasaber saber with sound. I'm not going to do the comparison video now, just stating that. Now, for $300, what you don't get is you don't get a tri-cree installed. You get a single cree, a single cree LED. What means is you have only one LED dot, and that allows you to have a decent brightness. If you choose a green, blue, or red, then it's the same brightness if you choose for a Sun Crusher RGB. Maybe slightly brighter with the RGB, but very slightly brighter. The difference, why I say that, because if you toggle between red, green, or blue on the RGB, and you only go for that single dye of that color, it's more or less the same as having that single dye in this standard package. So what I mean, if you have a single cree LED with green, and you have it compared to the $140 upgrade RGB LED, where you're using that same single green color, because the red and the blue is turned off when you only use the green, if you don't color mix it to make a different shade of green, then of course it's the same kind of principle, where you have one green LED light up, and then of course the brightness is more or less the same. And that is from my personal opinion and the way how I eyeball it. Either way, you will miss out on Flash on Clash, but you have that sort of flickering effect. So it is not bad actually. This set, it's actually very good, to be honest. And it's like a 300, I would say. Like I would say just do the upgrade of the tri-cree for $40 more. But if you're like don't want to spend the money, then I think it's fine. The only thing is, I should say it's a little bit of a downside, is there's no cover tech or D-ring installed. You need to add $10 for that, or $20 if you want to have brass or copper. But I mean, that is some minor cost increment. And then of course you can choose to do the weathering, or you can choose to do it yourself. But as a base, very good. Either way, that was that question. So a little bit long. Now we got a very good comment here from Trevor, and I totally agree with Trevor. Trevor is saying the problem with me being candidate is the exchange rate. I put in context for you. I've crunched the numbers, and for me to say purchase of a Vader's flags, Graflax, the Empire Strikes Back configuration, for the price we pay here, after exchange and shipping and border fees, what I will pay in Canada for just the flags, in the States not only could purchase the flags, but also the Revenor Havoc on top of that. Now, I fully agree with that, and I experienced the same issues, minus the border fees, because we don't really have that in Hong Kong. Knock on wood. I'm really happy with that. I will have big issues when I go back to Holland, because there's exact same issues as in Canada. It's killing. Like in the UK and Europe, forget it. It's super expensive. Now, the problem is, so you got all these awesome products from US manufacturers, and it's it's outside of the might of Ultrasaber, Saberforge, and Vader's Fold and other US-based companies that other companies or other countries, I should say, have their border fees. They have their or income tax, or I don't know how to call that, but you have to pay for importing your lightsaber, and that's easily $100 to $150. Oh, there's something from Todd that's regarding a project he's working on. I closed that because it's still not announced, so I don't want to announce that ahead of time. I let him do the announcement. Either way, Todd from the Dart Alice, by the way. Very awesome saber. I cannot wait to get my Dart Alice saber, hopefully in the very near future. Either way, it is killing the cost for me to get a saber. For example, again, this saber, Saberforge Heretic, cost retail in the US in this configuration, a stunt set, a Warrior Edition stunt setup, around, let's say, $150. On top of that, I have to pay 65 US dollar to get it shipped to my home in Hong Kong, and that's pretty killing. That's the price of an empty saber. I could get another empty saber on top of that, and it's really expensive for anybody living outside of the US. It is super expensive. Again, we of course in some countries you have a better exchange rate, so the Hong Kong dollar versus the US dollar, I'm a little bit it benefits me at times, but I'm way cheaper off when I order something from Europe. So if I order something from the UK or from New Zealand or Australia, I'm way cheaper in terms of purchase and the actual shipping. It's really ridiculous how much the price difference is. It's a shame, but the US is becoming more and more expensive for us international buyers. It's really expensive. So for that market, how well priced the Vader's Fold is, he's absolutely right, Trevor, saying the cost is significantly increasing beyond Vader's Fold doing, to a point that it's actually not. It's not worth to spend that kind of money, because you pay like $300 on top of that saber, just for all that stuff that is not really in the hands of a company based in the US, but is for international buyers, just killing it. It absolutely kills that whole hobby for us. It's really expensive. So that is something, unfortunately, the case. Now, what has to do with saber snubs? That has to do with the fact that companies like an Ultrasabers and whatnot can be cheaper at those instances for those international buyers, simply because they have a different arrangement, a different shipping method or whatnot, and then you get to that clash where you have people say, no, this is the best of the best, you should buy this Vader's Fold, blah blah blah, but they have no experience with us international buyers, because you're talking about doministic purchases, and of course it's very different. So it's also hard to put yourself in the shoes of a person that is international outside of the US, because you might not have the experience with that, so you don't see what is the big deal with that. But there's significant cost differences, and that's why I'm personally advocating at the moment as an international buyer on, for example, KR Sabers and JQ Sabers, other companies based either in Europe or Oxfam. Oh God, I believe he's in Sweden or Finland, but all these European companies, because the cost of shipping is just way lower. Plus, the pound is lower, and some other European currency, the European currency is okay. It's on par with the US dollar, but it has some major impact if you order something and ship it within the European borders, or have it shipped from the US or UK. UK soon. and Hong Kong and whatnot. So it's a really big matter, and that really leads to the approach is not always about its Ultrasabers having shit quality or Saberforge having shit quality and Vader's Vault having shit quality or good quality. It's also a matter of just yeah, coming down to money, like what is more affordable for someone to own. And from that perspective, within those limits and these boundaries that we have been setting ourselves or being set by external factors, making this sabersmith or that company the ideal choice, maybe not always by first choice, but it is what it is. And then some people don't want to understand it, and they say, well, why you keep buying this Ultra Sabers crap? And but it's not always a choice, and some people actually genuinely like it. They just like the hilt size, they like the quality of the electronics, they're happy with it, and it's okay with them, and perfectly fine. So I think this is a very, very interesting topic, and got some more comments. Let's see. No, let's do a few more, and then we go to some other topics. Big Kenobi 999, also one of my regular viewers. Thank you very much. What you're saying is so true. I'm a Saberforge guy, and my friend is an Ultrasabers guy, but it's always been an Xbox versus PlayStation type of argument. Also, I feel that if you don't like any of the saber companies and you still want a custom saber, might as well get a latte and make your own custom saber. At least that's what I tell people that hate custom saber companies but still want a saber. I think that's true. I think that is actually not a very bad idea to think about. Like, if you can have access to either a company or a factory that have lattes, and you have some of the knowledge, or you have a friend that's in the metalworking and whatnot, you can actually reach out to that person, work together, and I don't think it per se has to be very expensive to have your own customized hilt set up or created. All the electronics all come mainly from China anyway. There's many tutorials on the internet how to solder up a soundboard, LED, and etc. So that is something you can definitely do yourself. It's not rocket science. Like, I can do it. I don't say I'm the best at it, but I can do it. But the biggest obstacle always is the latte and the actual big hardware to create these hilts. But if you have access to it, it might be even more considerable to actually start looking into that. Like, you start with a simple one-piece hilt. Then we are gonna reply from ZWO. He said Vader's fall times are lower now. That might be true, but not by experience. I've got a custom powder coated Fury waiting for me, and it's now, I think, nearing the 30 weeks. The Vader's World Red is, I think, also nearing the 23, 24 weeks now. It's not per se 22 weeks. That might be with certain batches and certain models of lightsabers from Vader's World, but it's definitely not for all of them. Now, of course, now the Vader's World team is in multiple Comic-Con type of events, so there is a little bit shortage of staffing within the actual company, but still, I think it's a little bit too optimistic from Vader's World to say it's on the average 22 weeks. I think a lot of people would agree with me that's currently not always the case, but it's going to that position. Okay, got some more replies, but we also need to go to some of the other stuff. I'm not sure what is this. Why is everything moved? Oh god, something happened. No, I had some stuff lined up. Okay, now found it first. Okay, so this is very interesting. Oh, can I show that differently to you guys? Yeah. Okay. So Aaron, Aaron Lynn from the Pachstore or Ultimate Works, he is working on a skinny flex because that was recently requested, and he said, "Oh yeah, why not?" He can basically get any saber as a limited run. So if you guys have you voice it out with enough people, and there's enough interest, he will have it built. Like he seriously like he has very good yeah, he can get everything built. So you keep voicing out because now we're gonna get a skinny flex, and I'm gonna be on part of that skinny flex um, run because skinny flex is to me more interesting than the Graflex itself because it's slightly skinnier, it's slimmed down. I'm not really of a prequels guy, but the overall sizing of the skinny flex is more appealing to me. Also, the fixed bunny ears is more like an Ultrasabers, a little bit more sturdy, and more rigid than the old Graflex, which was basically not really designed to be like for dueling, etc. as a lightsaber. It has been transformed into one, but either way, I'm really keen on getting my hands on this one. Aaron is working hard on that, and it will come out very soon. And you can see already a little bit of the issue, the differences in dimensions. You see there the beer tab lip is not there. The overall the bunny ears are streamlined. That the ring in which you with the bunny ears that normally have to be grind down to put your blade properly in and out. The blade plug is getting stuck in it. Like that is something you don't have on the Ultrasabers. On the Ultrasabers you have to have the doorbell, and here you have a proper control box. So I'm really keen on this saber. Like I'm super stoked for it. I really wanna get one. It's just dimension wise. It's for me it's the construction dimensions. Like I don't like loose stuff or rattly stuff. This is my type of stuff, all sturdy, all stiff, and I've experienced all Aaron's stuff firsthand, all his lightsabers and whatnot, and it's super top-notch quality. So you will be super happy with it, and the price is always very good as well. So yeah, really keen for that. Go to Ultimate Works and check it out. Ah, that's what happened. Yep. Okay, so this is what I really wanted to show you guys as well. My Rebel Chumps or Rebel Chumpers Facebook page has been updated. I'm still working on it. I have some collaborations with, for example, Aaron Lynn from the Pachstore. We have Sean from Part-Time Hero Props. We have Todd Johnson from Dart Alice, and I have a whole bunch of people lined up. Eugene as well from SoCal. Hopefully all those people will posting their news updates on their own pages, of course, and on the Facebook groups, and also going forward on the Rebel Chumps page. So you guys, can you please become a member of this Facebook group, because going forward all these manufacturers, companies, and entrepreneurs will post their new updates on this Facebook page, and there will be giveaways, there will be discounts specifically for the targeted audience, and as you guys. So if you want to be part of that, have the news as the first person, having a simple overview, a simple page where you have all this news coming up on a regular basis, and you can see all these manufacturers coming with their news, then this is the page you want to be at. There will be no saber drama, whatnot. All these awesome saber companies will make sure that you always get the latest updates. Plus, I also will use it for my YouTube content to discuss it and go through the comments and feedback from you guys. For example, Sean has been sharing some of his projects here, and Gavin is also part of this Facebook page. So these guys will add a lot more information to it, and I hope you guys want to be a part of that, and it's gonna be really cool. So this is also one thing that's really cool that I want to share from my Facebook page is from Oxworks. That's what I tried to pronounce earlier. He's gonna do a Shokotana run, and Oxworks has been doing amazing runs as well. Now this is the Ashoka Katano hilt I want to get myself to. I missed out on the hilt run from Solo's Hold, so hopefully I can be part of this run. The only thing my concern is like pricing. I don't know what Oxworks gonna ask for this, but from experience with the other sabers is probably lower than Solo's Hold by quite a bit, and that's probably something that fits more in my price range. So especially the Tano is my favorite hilt of Shoko Tano. I like these small hilts. I really will go nuts for this hilt. And of course these are still initial builds, so these are like the prototypes. The finished types will be much more smooth. And Harp sabers. Now, if you don't know Harp is like the Swiss clock designer of the custom lightsaber community. He makes these most amazing lightsabers with like all these intricate designs and elements. It's crazy how far he brings it. It's just yes, it's bizarre. It's really really cool. This is something really cool that you might not seen before, but this is a 3D chassis, a 3D printed chassis. But nowadays the ingenuity of people are going way beyond than just creating the chassis. They make this whole system where you can plug and play everything. So what they've done is have a 3D printed chassis for your soundboard, and then you have here your speaker. And then this speaker, this circular piece actually can be disconnected. So if you want to access your SD card, or you want to do something on your soundboard, and you want to take out the 3D printed chassis, you can just plug out this piece here, where the speaker is, and then you have access to your recharge port. So that's just insane how smart that is. Like, this speaker has a metal tab that taps into this place or here. I don't know exactly how it works, but this is how you're gonna access your recharge port. So by unplugging your speaker. And that's way better than how it happens now often, is where you have the speaker, it hangs off a wire, and it hangs in the pommel, and then you have to use pliers, and it's such a messy, bloody mess, so you don't want it. This is way better. I really praise these kind of changes and developments, and this is from the Saber Project shop, so you guys definitely should follow them if you're not doing that yet. But yeah, it's just amazing, smart design. Okay, this is just another plug to myself. Now, I currently have a Vader's Volt wrapped Havoc for sale with the lime green, Sun Crusher green, leather wrapped, and has the Savage weathering. It's up for sale. It has been sold. It went up for $470, now at $450. Still for sale. If you guys are interested, send me a private message, and we sort something out. Reason for selling it, because I of course need to fund getting more funding so I can keep buying other lightsabers for reviews, because that is the whole purpose of this channel, and having fun with that. And I'm not sure what's this page. So it's a little bit messy. That was why. Yeah, so DC Sabers has another amazing sabers released. Like, these guys are on a roll. Very beautiful sabers. Very, very beautiful. I just like all these small serrations here. Very, very tedious, very, very minor, but very beautiful. Nice leather wrapping around it. The weathering is done amazing. Very beautiful sabers. I really hope to own one at some point, because they're just super gorgeous. You can find them at John DC Sabers on their Facebook page if you want to know more about them. But again, a very attractive and affordable brand for anybody seeking for alternatives from outside the US. For international buyers, DC Sabers is one of those amazing companies. And then so-called saber. So Eugene worked on a was it Force Relics saber. That's really beautiful. I love Force Relics, based from Belgium. Really amazing. And what Eugene has done is fitted this saber with this list of electronics. You can check out his video. Just go to so-called saber services. You can see his YouTube review video, and just show you the pictures. But oh my gosh, this saber is so beautiful. Kanan Jarrus, his lightsaber, with a actual working removable emitter. Very hard to come by, very expensive, but very beautiful. Very beautiful. Actual working blinky lights. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Okay, and then last page I want to cover quickly is the Reddit lightsaber group. I'm here on the Reddit lightsaber group, so if you guys watching, my name is Along Wargame or something on this group. I just recently posted here something. Yep, the Force Heretic full Saberforge Heretic full review. This is me. This is a fun group on Reddit. Beyond this group, I'm not doing anything on Reddit. It's not my cup of tea. Beyond Reddit, beyond this lightsaber group. But for this kind of stuff, it's actually quite nifty. There's a lot of people on here that are also on the Facebook groups and on the YouTube channels. They're also all here, so it's a fun family to talk about lightsabers and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. If you're interested, go to Reddit and then .com r lightsabers, and then be part of that group. It's pretty fun. Let's do one more video. Let's go to one of my YouTube videos lastly, and oh, this is the video requested. Hahaha. Oh, no. Oh, no, we got here an answer. Let's check it. Somebody answered something live. Okay, I think you're using OD to refer to circumference. The diameter will be a straight line across the center of the hilt between 2 points. Circumference is a I cannot pronounce this word. Circumference. I'm sorry, my English is not that great. You guys know that, but I think you're absolutely right. I need to work on my pronunciations. Plus, I need to remember what is the actual English word for whatever I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's unforgivable. I know that. I need to work on that. So if it's circumference, I will learn myself to pronounce this word, and next time I will pronounce that correctly and have that discussed, because I want to make sure that I give correct information. So again, sorry guys, sometimes the dimensions, the metrics and the ways are different in the US and in Europe. So like if I talk about centimeters, it's a lot easier for me, and weight in kg and grams versus what you guys use in feet and inches and whatnot. But nonetheless, I need to learn that because my target audience mainly is based in the US, so I would be a little bit silly if I cannot pronounce that properly. Lastly, let's see. Let's do a YouTube shout out, just because we're on there. I would like to do a shout out to two people. First of all, of course everybody knows him, but he is on a roll, and it's Space Windu, the string lad god. He did some new videos about explaining about Neopixels, and just I highly recommend you guys check it out because it's super interesting, and he's on the foreground of that new technology. Go to Space Windu, you can find him on his YouTube channel, and you find all the information there. It's a really great source. He's a great guy. He's a very smart guy, and his content is really cool. Okay, and then lastly, I would like to do a shout out to where is he? Yeah, Starfall sabers. Now Starfall sabers I've started to follow a while back, and his lightsabers are very interesting. It's a little bit different than most custom saber smiths or saber installers. He he built these sabers by himself, and they're very beautiful and unique. And he has his own style. Like his style is very distinct from a lot of other saber smiths. Now he's an actual saber smith. He's actually creating the hilt, installing the hilt, versus just saber installing some electronics inside the hilt. No disrespect, but there's a difference between people like let's say a Dart Alice, Starfall sabers. Like these kind of guys, they make the hilt, they install the electronics, they do everything from the bare hands, and it's just really cool stuff that he has. So check out this Starfall Sabers YouTube channel if you have not yet, and just drew over his amazing sabers. So guys, that is it for this video. Now we're gonna keep going with all these videos on the channel. The content will get better, and the YouTube intros being amended a little bit further. I was not very happy with it, so becoming better. I also gonna make sure that going forward the whole YouTube channel grows, because the more we grow with the YouTube channel, the more stuff we can do reviews on. There will be a new section very soon. There's a lot of smaller entrepreneur companies for which I'm gonna review their Star Wars related products, and then you have to think about everything Star Wars: keychains, buttons, stickers, posters, whatever they make and create. That's what I'm gonna review for them. They're gonna send me a review sample, and a lot of cool stuff, 3D printed helmets and whatnot. So it will be a lot of fun, and it's gonna really really be cool to have that whole community of smaller companies and bigger companies and everything related to the awesome Star Wars universe to grow. And then of course have the channel grow, and then have a nice location for everybody to check out the latest cool Star Wars stuff. And yeah, don't forget, please become a fan of the Facebook page, so you can find it on my banner. Go to that Facebook icon, add yourself to this Facebook group, and you will see a lot more Star Wars news coming up here, with special events and special discounts and whatnot, specifically for the YouTube audience here as well. So thank you for watching, and as always, stay coming. Please subscribe for more weekly videos, follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, sponsor the channel at our Patreon page. Stay scummy!